this is Melanie McClure.
And Scadio with Ecstatic Hearts. Welcome. Today we're going to be talking about, does my penis or
Pussy
have a medical problem? And where there are situations where that is necessary and medicine can help you, we want to address how many of these issues people have that Tantra and mindfulness can address as well. So just some examples we're going to talk about today is erectile dysfunction, premature ejaculation, even having a small penis. We're going to talk about
pain during intercourse, trouble getting wet, the various other vaginal pains that women might get and problems that we might have.
Or just even the desire to have sex. As
well as numbness and pain in the pussy for women during sex.
So let's start with the female perspective.
All right. So,
hey, Charles.
To begin with, there are a myriad of problems that us women can have in our pussies and vaginas that can be treated through the medical establishment. And some of those symptoms that, if you have these, you might want to go get checked out by your doctor would be things like dryness, itchiness, inflammation of the vagina and the pussy, lesions or sores, foul odors that are not like your normal smell.
Especially if pain comes out of nowhere.
Intense cramping that's not during your time of the month. These are all issues that you want to go get checked out by your doctor, have STI test run, and make sure that you're in the clear from a medical perspective with your doctor.
Sexually transmitted infections is STI these days.
Yeah. And then other issues, though, once you've been checked out by your doctor and you know whether, Western medicine or whatever can help you with it, a lot of issues still medicine can't really help with. And these issues would be pain during intercourse, trouble getting wet, numbness inside. And a lot of that all comes from shame and guilt that our society's put on us as women, and trauma around sex. So if you've ever been traumatized, if you've ever been raped, these pains, they get stored inside our pussies, inside our sex, and inside our root. So we actually do store emotional pain inside our bodies where we're meant to experience the most pleasure and bliss. So Tantra really helps us to get at the root of these problems, to get to the point where we are able to release that pain from the emotional wounds and traumas and wherever it came from. It doesn't even have to be a big trauma. It could have been a minor trauma that you don't consciously even remember, or it can be a major trauma that you consciously forgot.
Or it could have been just something as a child. We were told masturbation is bad and wrong, and so shame is around there. So it's like we're conditioned in our culture and society to not enjoy our genitals. So a lot of times we make them numb, or we don't touch them, or we don't explore them, and then we just think that the problems or the pain and the numbness is normal. And so there's things you can do using Tantra and other methods to help alleviate this. What's your recommendation, hon?
And in fact, it wasn't even until recently that it was even known that women could have orgasms, or that women could enjoy sex. And this kind of cultural conditioning, it kind of sticks around. And sometimes it's even like genetic memory. So it might not even happen to us, but like we still carry it through, like our genes of women just have sex just to procreate and to please our husbands, not because we actually enjoy it. So Tantra really helps for us to claim our pleasure, claim our bliss, awaken our pussies to feeling pleasure. And
so what do you recommend women do who might be encountering this kind of problem, or they went to a doctor and they couldn't find a medical reason for some of these issues?
So these are big topics and big issues. And it's way more than the scope of what we can actually address in this short video. So if you're experiencing these issues and you want to reclaim your bliss and pleasure, then I highly recommend that you check out some tantric workshops or work with a tantric healer, Dakini or Donka one-on-one, and like go deep into like learning these practices, going through rituals. There's so many practices and rituals and sexual healing practices that you can do to really heal all of these old wounds and to awaken yourself into pleasure again. I'm just going to say one practice that I highly recommend that you start. This is great for men and women, and it will deal with some of the things that Scott's going to talk about with the men as well, is the Mula Bandha. And this is a pelvic floor practice, oftentimes associated as being like the Kegels because it's really similar, but this is the tantric version. And the tantric version, we're dealing with the middle of the pelvic floor. So for us women, this is the vaginal opening where our pussies is. And for men, this is the perineum between the balls and the taint. So everyone just bring...
The taint between the balls and the penis.
And bring your awareness to the middle of your pelvic floor. And you can put your hand there to like feel it and bring more attention and awareness there. And just feel a gentle lifting and relaxing. Lifting and relaxing. And then we're going to breathe in, lifting up. Hold. Exhale, pressing downwards. You
can do this with us at home.
As you inhale, you're breathing in silver earth energy, lifting up on the middle of the pelvic floor, letting that energy go up your spine as you lift up. Hold, just tighten it. Exhale with a sigh, letting the energy fall back down.
When you have a smile, it opens up an energy channel in your body, so you can do this with a smile.
Breathing in through the nose, lifting with Mula Bandha, the center of the pelvic floor.
Visualizing the energy
Silver
going up.
energy going up your spine. Hold. Exhaling through the mouth with a sigh.
Keeping your back straight.
Pressing down on the exhale. And this basic practice of Mula Bandha is a basic pelvic floor strengthening technique that helps to bring healing, loving earth energy up into your body, helping you to lift and engage your vaginal canal, and then exhaling, helping it to press downwards. So this strengthens the vaginal canal, your pussy, strengthens those muscles to grip the lingam of our lover, and helps to awaken and activate and get the juices flowing. Also helps to lubricate inside of us. So this is a key important practice for just general sexual health for men and women. For men, it also activates your prostate, which is...
Yep, and it helps prevent prostate cancer. Another thing that's similar to this, which is both good for men and women, is sacred spot massage, which you might have heard about. And what this is for the men, it's actually rubbing the prostate. You can do that internally and externally. And for women, it's rubbing the G-spot area. And, you know, similar to, there's also something called vagina mapping, where you're exploring the woman's pussy. And the difference here is that instead of having the goal of trying to get your partner off, you're actually really going slow and gently with patience and love, and you're you know, feeling every aspect of it and just seeing if you can awaken sensations or seeing if you can ease the pain. And, you know, one of our teachers, she was numb and felt pain down there. And at first it was numb, and then and she would explore it like for an hour every day. And she did this through masturbation or with her partner. And she would just try to awaken and figure out what was going on down there. And then it went from numbness to pain when it started waking up. And then from pain, it went into mild pleasure. And then it was in the good pleasure. But it took her almost a year. So sometimes, you know, taking patience with your partner and exploring and really seeing what's there can do miracles.
Yeah.
And
so Goddess Spot Massage is something that you may have experienced something similar just in your normal sexual explorations with your partner. And what makes it unique is usually the container that's set for it. It's the energetic aspect that's added to it, and the overall therapeutic massage aspect that's added to it as well. So even though you may have experienced GSpot massage from your partner before, Goddess Spot Massage is like that and more. So exploring that under the guidance of a trained tantric professional can really like open up even more for you. Oftentimes opening up and bringing sensitivity where there was numbness, releasing trauma and pain that's been stored there, and awakening the path of pleasure that resides inside of us. So that's a great practice that I highly recommend you do under the guidance of a professional, either at a workshop or one-on-one. And you can have your partner be taught how to do this so you receive it from your partner in a healing process.
Yeah, and there's also, you know, surrogates that work with you in conjunction with a psychiatrist. Or, you know, what's also interesting is you don't even necessarily need to touch or explore your genitals to have breakthroughs in this area. You know, one of the things when we're talking about workshops is that for a lot of people, they're shut down, men and women, by shame and stress and guilt. And you'd be amazed what happens. I mean, even in our workshops where we're doing nothing but having people own their sexual power and their freedom, we see shifts, dramatic shifts in not only how they feel in their bodies, but how they look. Just for example, we're having a sexual empowerment workshop happening at the end of September, and we have, you know, like I was watching a show saying you can't fix ugly, but that's so like wrong, because ugly is a mindset, you know, and no one's ugly. Everyone's beautiful in their own way, and we actually have other people evaluate the sexiness of the students before and after a workshop, and this is just a weekend, right? And we had an average of a 24% increase and just appearance, so you look sexier. And the reason I'm highlighting this is because that's the external shift. What happens internally is far more profound. People start falling in love with their bodies. They start relaxing. They start, you know, feeling love for themselves. They start accepting who they are as sexual beings. They start healing, if they or continue to heal whatever is going on down there. So that's a really important aspect of this, and there's lots that can be done. I see sometimes people jump to trying to find a medical solution when really it's just integrating your subconscious, your mind, and your spirit with your body, you know, and coming into alignment can do so much.
Yeah, and our area of expertise, we typically deal with these issues just through emotional release practices that don't even involve touching the genitals. In most of our workshops, we don't even do any kind of genital touch practice. So it's just freeing those emotions and releasing it through learning energy work and releasing the shame, releasing guilt, releasing trauma, mostly through energetic practices that you do all on your own, held within the safety container of the group.
Yeah, and again, if you're exploring this on your own or with a partner, one of the things you'll note is that emotions might come up. And what's happening is when you move energy, when you awaken the body, emotions come out, and they might be from something you don't even know why. It might be sadness or anger or blissful orgasm. And the thing to do there is fully feel your feelings. Go ahead and allow yourself to go into the emotion and fully experience it, even if it's uncomfortable, because the only way out is through. And so know that when you're moving energy, when you're moving emotions, you're releasing it from your body so that you can be free and you can be present and in the moment. So go ahead.
And then another thing that I touched on earlier is with women, well, with men and women, take things slow in sex, especially if women are experiencing pain during sex and have a hard time reaching their pleasure or are dry. Go slow. And it's okay if it takes 30 minutes to an hour of slow, mindful, present foreplay and not being attached to the results or being attached to what kind of sexual act that you engage in.
It doesn't need to end in sex or intercourse at all. You can just enjoy the sensations and the experience.
Just explore finding where the yes is, finding where the pleasure is, and following the pleasure and following the yes. And if you care about your partner or you love your partner, you're going, for men, for us women, you're going to take time exploring and following where her yes is. And for the women, you have to actually own where are you feeling the opening and where are you feeling the tightness and the closing, and go where the opening is. And the more safe that you feel held, the more you feel like your partner's there for you, the more you're going to open and unfold, even if it's going really slow.
And just so you know, too, if you're not enjoying sex with your partner, just a quick statistic is that the average sex session in America is 7 minutes, and guys go even quicker than that when they're on their own. But the average woman takes 30 minutes before they're aroused enough to have an orgasm. So really
aroused enough to even engage in intercourse.
Yeah, so, pleasurable intercourse. So the point here is to take things slow and really do it with mindfulness and exploring. So let's talk about some of the male issues that are specific to men. So one of the things that we've already talked about is Mula Bandha, and that can also help with erectile dysfunction. This is when you have problems getting an arousal. The biggest reason for that, by the way, in America and probably worldwide, is stress. So guys feel they don't have enough time, they're feeling stressed out, and again, removing the goal of having an orgasm, removing the goal even of having an erection can be really powerful. The good news is with Tantra, you can learn to have full body, amazing, powerful orgasms without even an erection. In fact, literally, some of my best sexual experiences, one of the most profound ones I've ever had in my life last week, didn't involve my penis at all, because you're actually channeling energy through your whole body. And so even if you're paralyzed or you have other significant issues, know that you can have a profound, amazing sexual experience without that. And age isn't a factor too. Two of our teachers are in their 80s and they make love twice a day, every day, as part of their tantric practice. And so you can use, because also when you're engaging in your energy this way, it turns you on. I don't know if you want to talk about that, but if you are not used to having an orgasm, by tapping into your energy enables you to have orgasms much easier and quicker than ever before.
And remembering to let go of attachments to the goal, like we said before. Sometimes people are really attached to having intercourse and penetration or ejaculatory orgasms or whatnot, and just letting go of that attachment and finding where your pleasure is. And there's so many ways to experience pleasure with your partner. It might just be a massage or whatever, just following the pleasure.
So also with erectile dysfunction, I like to use that word, but it's normal, especially when we make love over a time, for your penis to get hard and soft. And I mean, it's supposed to get soft after every hour or so, because if it stays hard for too long, that can create its own problems. And I know some people that have done procedures and stuff to try to have an erection. That can actually create extra problems. So just know that you can do a lot with the soft on. In fact, there's more sensitivity when you're only semi-erect. And if you have patience and to go through the cycle and do other amazing sexual things you can do without a raging boner, you can just continue to enjoy that process. And just so you know too, when you're moving the energy up your spine and you're having full body energetic experiences, that will take a little bit of oomph out of your penis, and that's okay, because it comes back much quicker. And so you're actually learning, this is important, to separate ejaculation from orgasm. Those are two separate things. So you can have the best, amazing, longer-lasting orgasms without ejaculating, without even necessarily having erections. So that's an important thing to know. Another thing we'll talk about is... So the other things we talked about besides erectile dysfunction is premature ejaculation. By the way, I was a premature ejaculator, and I was like a 3-stroke wonder. That was done, and that wasn't working for me. And so I that's my initial foray into Tantra. And boy, literally, if we want, we can have sex for 12 hours straight. We can even start having a state of orgasm without even doing penetration these days. And so it's literally mind-blowing how crazy that can get. So this is probably the best cure for premature ejaculation I've ever found. Nothing even comes close to that. And, and then the other issues that Tantra can address is, penis size. I just want to say that most guys think their penis is too small. And while there are things that you can do to maybe increase an inch, like a penis extender or something, which is a medical procedure, that's like, working 2-3 hours a day for 6 months to a year to maybe get an inch. But with Tantra, you can actually, when you become more sensitive to your energy, you can have the energy expand in your penis, and your partner can feel that. And you're talking about adding like a foot of energetic experience that's very real. In fact, and women can actually get in touch with their energetic lingam, and so there's whole worlds of possibility go way beyond penis size. I think guys put way too much thought and focus into the penis when it really has a very small aspect on how pleasurable your sex life can be and how amazing of a lover you can be, because there's whole worlds available for people that have nothing to do with that. So, and then just as a quick note on dryness is like use lubrication, and even if they aren't dry, if you're gonna have extended sexual play, especially with condoms, use lubrication. We just bought a second half gallon this year. It's like it's okay to use that. That's not an indicator that you're bad at sex or there's anything wrong.
Yeah.
So in summary, we just want to say there's so much that you can do to have a fulfilling love life that is simple and easy, and it's up here. There are medical problems, but we want you to know that Tantra can do so much to help you have an amazing love life that people completely don't know about or take for granted or don't believe in. So give it a try. Especially if you've gone to the doctor and they aren't of help, there's so many other options for you that I've seen miracles happen all the time through Tantra. And again, we're going to have a sexual empowerment workshop at the end of September, the 20th and 30th, and that can create miracles.
Yeah, and even before then, you want to learn more Tantra and get a variety of experiences. We're going to be out at the California Tantra Festival, September 12th through 16th.
I believe so.
It's on our website and our Facebook page. So come join us at the California Tantra Festival, and you'll get to experience Tantra from a variety of teachers, including us.
It's a lot of fun.
With a whole bunch of people in a beautiful land, and totally come join us and see what Tantra can offer you.
All right, this is Scotty O'Malley with Ecstatic Hearts. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.